I'm finding lately when it comes to, and I'm just observing people. I do that a lot. I observe people from a distance physically. I observe people in the members lounge and what kind of posts are going on. I observe people's reactions or comments and such. Mary, welcome. And and I'm finding something that's very, very important. I'm finding that a lot of people find very creative ways to talk themselves out of healing. Their mindset many times isn't in line with the desires that they have for their own lives and feeling better. So the mindset is off. The mindset is usually that of, hey, when the time is right, I'll heal, right? When the real support shows up, then I'll heal. Or when I feel better, then I'll really feel like I'm healing. Or I just don't have this or I don't have that. And what's really important to understand, guys, in this healing journey, and I had to understand this, is I wanted to heal as well. I wanted to overcome my anxiety, and I don't want to, I don't want to talk about anxiety so much. I want to talk about transformation. But when it comes to healing anxiety, I needed to understand that even if I recovered tomorrow, let's say I woke up the next morning and I had no symptoms and I was free from this emotional state and this intrusive these intrusive thoughts and such, if I was free from it tomorrow morning, there would be very little chance of me being able to maintain that. So the first question is, if I did, because everybody wants to heal, okay, but let's say you are healed. Why is it that you wouldn't be able to maintain that healing is the question. Okay, it's a very powerful and important question that you need to ask yourself because it's within the deeper questions that hold our healing. And today I'm going to talk about how the child mind goes against the adult mind and how it holds us away, keeps us away from healing. Okay? So Joyce says, I'm well aware that I self-sabotage and I'm working to notice it ahead of time. Now, there's a couple things to understand here first and foremost. You can do this in two different ways. One, and of course, we all want to be mindful. We have to be mindful as we're going through the day, catching ourselves when we're moving away from the healing path, right? When we're overthinking something or when we're getting too emotionally invested in negativity, whatever it may be, if we're caught up. We need to go through our day mindfully, yes. But remember that takes up a whole lot of resources within you. It takes up a lot of energy to go through an entire day focusing so very much on being mindful so that you can make changes as you're going through the day. So my response to this, warriors, is that we have to understand that this is a two-part journey. One is, and the first part is where a lot of people are very uncomfortable. When I was suffering from anxiety, if you asked me to close my eyes and relax, start allowing the tension in my body to kind of release and allowing my thoughts to be like clouds, I would say, are you kidding me? Like, I can't stop for a moment. The moment I stop, right? The moment I give in, it felt like I gave in, but the moment I would let go, it felt like I was going to lose something. It felt like I was going to run into problems or troubles. My worst fears would come true. So the first part of healing is finding yourself consistently in an uncomfortable place called altered states. Okay, because I truly believe in my heart that it's very difficult for someone to heal themselves if in fact they don't place themselves into a place where they can close their eyes, where they can visualize something new, where they can work with their body to recognize where the fear is being held and so forth. If you guys would like, I would love to run you through something today. Just comment below and let me know you'd want to do that. But that's the first part, right? It's the altered state work that you need to get comfortable with. And then there's the second part, which is the mindfulness as you go through the day. Remember that you can't go through the day mindfully without tools to counter your fears. You need the tools. You can't go through the day hoping that change will show up. You can't go through the day hoping that what you did yesterday is enough for you to heal for the rest of your life. I'm going to say that again. Don't go through the day hoping that what you did yesterday is enough convincing of your subconscious mind to heal you forever. Okay? It's not going to happen. And you see it all the time. Hot toddy. Brooke, that is definitely right up there with one of the most challenging symptoms when it comes to overwhelm, depletion, and anxiety disorder. Absolutely. A lot of people are saying, yes, I'd like to do something today as far as a technique goes. Okay, we'll do that later on, promise. Okay, you're interested in walking us through. I work with five techniques, basically. And I don't do any more than those. And these techniques are based on reframing past. It's based on reorganizing and reframing the future, creating that identity and living it out through our emotions. As well, it's connected to releasing us of core beliefs. So I'll do one of those five techniques today with you. Sound good? And if you guys haven't read this book yet, it's a huge eye-opener. Please download it, audiobook, ebook, buy it, whatever it takes. Outwitting the Devil, it's called, and I did a review on this just a couple days ago. If you scroll down, you'll notice the posts, or later you can check it out. Outwitting the Devil. Really insightful stuff. And in that book, apparently during this conversation between Napoleon Hill and the devil says that the devil controls 98% of the earthbound. Okay, the people that are walking this earth, 90% of their minds are stuck in a number of different fears, and therefore they can't really truly live. These fears are related to the fear of poverty, the fear of ill health, the fear of lack of love, the fear of death, and so forth. Great book. And in that book, okay, and this is where we don't want to go, okay? It mentions one word, very key term that you want to be aware of, okay? We're starting this session with this. That term is called drifting. Drifting, Lisa Lichia, sorry. She's here, right? Newbie. Let's all welcome her. Welcome. Konnichiwa from Japan. Drifting. You do not want to be a drifter. So what we're told in this book is ideas of fear get implanted into the young when they are very young. In fact, from conception forward. And these ideas are presented from parents, different authority figures, teachers, religious people, religious teachers, whatever. Right? Anybody that's an authority figure implants these fearful suggestions into the child. And then as time goes on, this child who becomes, a teen and then an adult and so forth, begins to drift farther and farther and farther and farther and farther away from the potential that that person has to run their own minds. That's all it is. A drifter is someone who is so separated, so disconnected from the ability to control his own ways of thinking, to reframe those past beliefs, and to be able to act in ways that are in alignment with the person they want to become. Okay? Ask yourself, am I a drifter right now? Am I in a place right now where I actually feel like something else is running me? Right? People on the outside are running my ways of thinking, my mind. Right? Does it feel like there's some kind of some being, some energy that's overtaking my body, and I feel helpless in my symptoms, even my actions, my behaviors? Does it feel like this? This is referred to as drifting in the book, and I absolutely love that term. So I need you all to understand and to analyze, to take a few moments to ponder whether you have drifted away from feeling like you actually have control over things you have control over in your inner world. Okay? Now, here's the important thing, Amira. We cannot be blaming anyone. Blame, guilt, unforgiveness, all of these things are poison to our system. We must get to a place where we actually are resolving these things, not for other people's sake, but for our sake. Because I remember a time in my life where I blamed everything and everyone. And the more I blamed, the more it kept me from taking responsibility for these things and the way I felt and moving my life forward. Very important, my friends. So, drifting was one of the things that I want you to really pay attention to. The second thing is what is called the law of hypnotic rhythm. The law of hypnotic rhythm. Now, when we're talking about the law of hypnotic rhythm, we have to understand that everything has a rhythm behind it. You see a surfer and they are in a nice little rhythm. You'll see someone who feels empowered or giving a beautiful speech, a TED Talk, whatever it may be. There's a certain rhythm there. You'll see people that are living positive rhythms and the negative rhythms. So this law of hypnotic rhythm keeps us further and further away from recognizing that we are in a trance. Okay? We are in a trance. And one of the simplest things that I ask people in my sessions and people going through the program is, I want you to just recognize right now, what are you doing to keep yourself in this hypnotic rhythm, this trance that you're in that continues to make you feel this way? And then they go, my God, I never realized that it was actually me that was causing me to feel these things. I always thought it was something on the outside. I always thought that I had to live with these beliefs that mom and dad programmed me with forever. I never realized that I was actually doing things in the present moment that was causing me to feel a certain way. Do you realize what a small percentage of people actually believe that what they're experiencing physically has something to do with their mental and emotional states? They don't believe it. Are you one of those people? Ask yourself and be honest, because that's what we're doing here. We're being very honest with ourselves today, right? And we go about our lives thinking that we've got structural issues in our physical world. Amira, please ask that question in a little bit, because in the second part we go into some questions, so it's going to be super fun. But I need you to understand, are you currently still believing that there's physical things wrong with you and you haven't connected the fact that your mental, your emotional state, your spiritual state, okay, and your imaginative state have everything to do with your physical body, okay? The majority, if not all physical problems are there because of an energetic and an emotional imbalance. Write that down, okay? Almost all physical issues are there because of an emotional and an energetic imbalance. There's stagnant energy. And you'll see this with anxiety sufferers. And comment below if this is you. Do you feel like you hold a tremendous amount of energy stagnant up here in your head area? Because anxiety sufferers are so contained up in here, right? There's no flow in energy. That's why I made that video last Wednesday, to get the energy flowing through your body, right? Energy work is very, very important. Reframing is a part of energy. Gray room, when you're doing it through the program, is a part of energy. All of these things, which we're going to do today, okay, are a big, huge part of the reason for why you physically feel the way you do, period. Okay? Energy is everything. I need you to get this, because we need to start somewhere. We need to look within, because warriors, let me tell you something. In this, all of us right here, right now, we are not going to be a part of the drifters. Period. We are not going to be a part of the drifters. Hit the like button if you agree with me. Why? Because drifters go through their childhood taking in information by other people and never ever maturing out of that information. Some people are 60, 70, 80, 90 years old and they've never updated, they've never upgraded the system. They've never reprogrammed or reconditioned themselves. It's as if they're still 7. Does it feel like you're still 7? Right? So, here's what we need to understand before I get into that. Amira, good for you. Lucia, did I say that right? Lucia says, yes. Yeah, pressure in the head. I mean, it's all right here, right? It's all happening up here, right? And we could feel a certain heaviness up here. It's not like it's sensations that are really zappy. It's not like they're painful, but there's a heaviness here with anxiety sufferers right here. And what you want to do is you want to begin doing exercises and begin doing meditations and hypnosis work that focuses on specific chakras that are going from the neck and above. As well, you want to make sure you're doing energy flow work. Anything like Qigong is absolutely fantastic for this sort of stuff. So you want to add these into your daily repertoire, right? So, yeah, combing away, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. Wednesday, guys, do that video every morning, please. It just takes 5 minutes, right? And some people are going to get impatient with it. They're going to be like, oh my God, I got to take on the day. I should be looking at social media. I should be looking at my business, whatever. No, please, guys, within the first at least 20 minutes, take that time for you and only you. Because the way you start your day really dictates how the day goes many times, right? Write this down. Child mind. Two categories, child mind, adult mind. The child mind takes everything literal. I want you to recognize, first of all, who's running your day. Who's running your day? Is the child mind or adult mind running the day? The child mind takes everything literal. For example, this is important to understand. If you keep saying, I don't believe it. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe I just won that thing. I don't believe I feel so good. I don't believe this. I don't believe that this good thing is happening to me. Child mind goes, okay, I guess we won't believe it then, right? Your wording is very important. Your inner dialogue is very important. Child mind, number 2. The child mind creates deeper meaning between things based on emotional intensity. So when you were a child, if an experience had a high amount of emotional intensity, then that experience will be stored at a deeper level in your mind, body, and spirit. That's called the subconscious mind. Than an experience that had more of a neutral intensity to it. Okay? So we need to understand that this kind of problem that we're facing today, okay, when we're talking about physical sensations, when we're talking about intrusive thoughts, when we're talking about disconnect with God, when we're just not open to things, right? This is all a result of overwhelm. This is all a result of depletion. I can promise you something. One traumatic experience or multiple traumatic experience can be enough to deplete someone. To deplete someone to the point where the system doesn't want you to go outside anymore, doesn't want you to face people, doesn't want you to eat the same foods you ate during that traumatic experience. In fact, I was reframing someone a little while ago, and we were talking about peanut butter. She was allergic to peanut butter. She couldn't eat it, right? So as we went into some really crucial questions, she recognized that when she was in the kitchen at the age of 5 and mom and dad were screaming and yelling at each other and dad was throwing the chair all over the place, there was peanut butter in her stomach, right? She was eating peanut butter. So now as an adult, she's going, why can't I eat peanut butter? Well, what happened was we reframed the experience, okay? We reframed it. We got her to get that charge, that energetic charge that was stuck in her body. We got it out of her body. Okay, we discharged that. We moved her forward in time. Next thing you know, she can eat peanut butter. I mean, these are the kinds of miracles, shifts in perceptions, releases in energetic and emotional buildup in the body that can actually occur. We are all capable of this kind of change. Period. Child mind focuses on now. Never, ever, ever thinks about long term. Right? I mean, how resonated are you with that rule when it comes to the child mind? I know I was. Right? It's like, ooh, I've got this symptom in my body. Okay, well, it's got to be this, right? It's got to be that, and you need to handle it now. So go to the emergency room, take that pill, right? Or, go find some help from somebody. You need to take care of that now because that physical symptom needs to go, right? So the child mind reacts in this way. It doesn't think long term. If you were to present an idea to the child mind in the beginning that says, hey, man, woman, chill out. That symptom is a result of me being tired from the day, right? I'm caught up a little bit. I still got some traumas I got to work through. The child mind goes, heck no, it's none of those things. You're in dire need of some kind of help right now, right? So this is how the child mind works. Next thing you know, what happens is the person tries to get the adult mind involved, right? And says, no, these symptoms, these physical and emotional and energetic symptoms are all connected. They're connected to the fact that I'm holding on to things from the past. They're unresolved. I continue to talk to myself in a way that brings on fear, inner distress, and that's why I feel these physical symptoms. It has nothing to do with my survival. So you go and meditate for a few moments. And within a 2-minute period, you go back to your phone and you go, okay, what if it is something serious? So the child mind wins the day. Okay? Because this is where that whole franticness idea comes in. Right? Anxiety sufferers, many of them are very frantic. Not always, when it comes to many, many anxiety sufferers out there, they want so much positive change. They're sick and tired of this negativity. They're sick and tired of this fear and this sensitivity to everything. They're sick and tired of living a small life. But the moment positivity shows up, they don't know what to do with it. They feel a sense of inner peace, and all of a sudden, unconsciously, because the filters in their brains are so focused on fear and self-sabotage and punishment, they unconsciously sort for things that could bring that drama back into their lives. So what happens? Positivity shows up and boom, they're right back into negativity. It's pretty much a 95% to 5% battle for so many anxiety sufferers out there. So we need to understand who's guiding the ship, who's driving the bus, right? Who's leading us right now? Okay. Another thing when it comes to the child mind is the child mind is highly emotional. The child mind is not rational. The child mind, like when you're going about your day and you have a sense that you are highly in distress all the time, you're emotional, you're really up and you're really down, that's the child mind taking over the day, right? The child mind says, ooh, candy, right? Ooh, there's a lot of excitement there, right? Or, ooh, right? Boss is coming around. Oh my God, fear. I got to stay away. It's like it's either up or it's down, and people are living this roller coaster life, never recognizing that these are the core beliefs that they took on when they were 7 and they never upgraded their belief systems. So they may be 50 years old with the same beliefs of when they were 7, right? Love the comments. You guys are crushing it. Great stuff. Zoe, got it. Good stuff. Never heard of The Watcher, Nancy. Is that on Netflix or somewhere? Reading the book, Amira, the Devil book. Good, good. That's good. That's a great book. So we need to understand that this, and here's something that we need to write down as well. We need to understand that if we allow our feelings and if we allow our emotions to run every single aspect of our lives, right? Our emotions are running the decisions that we make when we go and buy something, right? Our emotions are running the show every time, say, we're single and we're looking for someone to date. It's all emotional. It's not cognitive, it's emotional. If we allow this emotional side of us to run the day, we are putting our trust, very important, we are putting our trust into the cognitive rationale of an 8 to 10-year-old child. So you are literally allowing an 8 to 10-year-old child to run every decision that you make. You are allowing this 8 to 10-year-old child to decide what is threatening and what's not. So we need to understand that. I mean, who's really running the day? And finally, with the child mind, let's understand that it's subtle at first. At first, it's subtle, right? I'll give you an example of this. When I was 23, 24, 25, my anxiety disorder was very, very subtle. Right? It kind of poked its head out once in a while. Right? A little situation here, a little physical symptom there. Right? As time went on, if my association between things didn't change, if I didn't resolve the guilt, the blame, the unforgiveness, the disgust, the fear, the anger, if I didn't resolve those things that were stuck in my chest, stuck in my stomach, stuck in my legs, stuck in my arms and my head, if I didn't resolve these things that were stuck in my mind, body, and spirit, what happened was month after month after month, the child mind started to speak up. My symptoms grew in strength. My sensations, my emotions grew in strength. I started to fear more, right? My head hurt more. My stomach worsened. My digestive system shut down. My depersonalization got worse. The child mind starts screaming louder and louder and louder through our mind, our bodies, our emotions, and our imagery as time goes on. So it starts very subtle. And then boom, as the core beliefs stay the same, as your reality stays the same, the way you look at the world, the way you look at yourself stays the same. The way you perceive mom and dad stays the same. The way you perceive that teacher in grade 8 who made a fool out of you stays the same, right? The way you perceive your best friend who left you in grade 12, during the dance, and you made a fool out of yourself on the dance floor during prom, whatever it may be, if those perceptions stay the same, the symptoms get worse and worse and worse. The body will always tell you what's unresolved, period. The body is 100% memory. Remember that. Whatever you're feeling in your body is just that. It's the connection to the energetic and the emotional component that needs to be cleaned out, and we are going to clean that out today, a little bit or a lot, depending on how absorbed you are. Oh my God, Dennis, really going nuts with that hot toddy. Right? I like it. I'm going to have another one later. Brooke, you're very welcome. It's great to have you here. Amira asks those questions again in a little bit. We will get to those questions, I promise. I don't mind if we go over a little bit, guys. I mean, this is my favorite time where I just get to hang out with you guys and Mingle. Mirza, have you had one of these before? Okay, I mentioned the ingredients. We got a couple of little herbal floaties at the bottom. I don't mind those anymore. Kind of just really small little chunky chunkies. But again, at the bottom we've got turmeric and we've got organic ginger. Really good stuff. Michael, I don't know, my friend, but we shall see. I will definitely be updating everybody on seminars, retreats, talks, that sort of thing on the Facebook page. We will get there. Michelle, it's great to have you here. Let's welcome Michelle. Because nobody's separated here. Does sugar trigger me? No. In fact, I don't use that word with anybody. Nobody should use that word. We don't use the word trigger here. We use the word challenge. Okay? So does it challenge you? Yes, it challenges me. All right. Now, adult mind. I know you're writing this stuff down. I see you. Adult mind. The adult mind, and as you go through the day, remember, at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, who ran the day? Who ran the day? Amra, the book is most likely coming out on the 22nd of March. Who ran the day? Did the child mind run the day, or did the adult mind run the day? The adult mind is very flexible in perceiving. Very flexible in perceiving. So, as you're going through the day, something happens. Internally, something happens. Externally, something happens. And you know that the adult mind is running the show, which is what we want, by you presenting yourself with more options. That's it. It's on Amazon, yep. That's it. So I've got this option. I could believe this. I could believe that. I could perceive it this way. I could act in this way. I could imagine this future outcome. Right? Becky, the book is going to be... I didn't write the book. And it's very difficult for a lot of people to understand that. I didn't write... I mean, I wrote the book. Right? I was writing the book. But my conscious self didn't write the book. Right? And I don't want to get all metaphysical on people and godly. Right? But I wrote the book quickly and very effectively and powerfully, and it seemed like there was another energy or something writing the book for me, and that's really what it felt like, and I can't wait to present it to you guys. But so if the adult mind runs the day, hey, you're pretty flexible in your perceiving, right? The adult mind runs the day if it sees things as they presently are and not worse. Okay, so if you see things as they are, right, just as they are, not worse than what they are. For example, take the coronavirus today, right? If the adult mind runs the show, you realize that the majority of the people that are dying from the coronavirus, we know are senior citizens. We know that the immune system plays a big part in how you counter the coronavirus. We understand that there are factors that contribute to whether or not the coronavirus, affects you physically and leads to some complicated things or not. So we need to understand that if the adult mind is running the show, the adult mind says, hey, you know what? 97% of people are surviving this thing. Okay? And 3% of people may be passing away, but whatever it is. But I need to make sure that I organize my mind in a way that looks at this thing from every angle, then makes a decision. Okay? Consider all angles before you choose what you want to believe. Okay? All angles. Don't just go on Twitter, okay, and hashtag something like coronavirus, read like 5 tweets and go, that's what it is. Don't do that. Right? Don't listen to your coworker. Don't watch the news. Right? Don't allow your child mind to decide for you. You decide. Okay? Your true self, your adult mind decides what to believe. Period. Okay? And honestly, what's going to happen is you're going to tire yourself out, and that's okay. Okay? In the beginning stages, the first 3 months, I was exhausted when I was healing myself, exhausted. Do you know how much extra resources I was using, energy within me, in order to guide myself to a place where I was no longer dictated by the child mind? It's tiring when you're healing. It's messy. Embrace the messiness, right? A lot of people get symptomatic after day 2 and they go, this doesn't work. You don't have the right mindset. You're not ready to heal. Don't even bother with the tools. You're not ready to heal. It's a journey. It's a journey of lessons. And this journey is actually taking you somewhere where you most likely have never considered you'd be. Okay? So understand that it's a tiring journey because using up conscious resources, right, uses up extra energy, which will deplete you a little bit, and that's okay. It's not about how you feel. Forget feeling better right away. Forget that. Stop judging your progress based on how you feel from day to day. Period. Put that stuff away. That's the child mind. Child mind says, you did that, it didn't work, see how you feel, put it away. No, no, no. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going without checking in to see how you're feeling. Just keep going. Third thing related to the adult mind is it takes into consideration others' views on reality. Okay? This means that, let's say you had a trauma back in the day and your dad was, emotionally and verbally abusive. The adult mind says, you know what? Dad was doing the best he could with the knowledge, the information he had. And if I could actually take a few moments to consider Dad's childhood, then I'll understand why he did what he did to me. Okay? And if I can get to that place where the adult mind is considering other people's viewpoints, then I'm going to release the blame. When I release the blame, I release the guilt at the same time for what I went through. If I release the guilt, I'm discharging energy. Okay? I'm releasing it from my body and I can start healing. Okay? Fourth thing related to the adult mind. The adult mind doesn't get caught up in fear throughout the day. I mean, you may get a feeling of fight, flight, or freeze. You may get that initial, right, oh my God, right, what could it be? But the adult mind doesn't get caught up in that. Within, what is it? Probably within a 15-second to a 1-minute period, things start to become more neutral. Okay, it becomes more neutral. The perceptions over the situation changes. The person acts in a way that promotes healing, but they don't get caught up in the initial reaction. Okay, Buddha called it first and second darts. The first darts are usually automatic. They're related to the child mind. They're related to the subconscious mind. But the second darts are optional. They are your choice. Okay, and finally, the adult mind doesn't succumb to feelings since feelings are but one option when you're faced with a situation. When you have a feeling about something, okay, that's one option out of hundreds. That's it. Okay? And the more you choose to go against that initial fearful emotion, what's going to happen is over time, you're going to program yourself to go, you know what? This is what I want to automate instead. Okay? It's all about hypnotic rhythm. We want to get out of the anxiety trance. Okay? And we want to get into a new trance. I know the word trance scares people, but it shouldn't. You're in a trance all day, every day anyway. You go to work, you're in a trance. You wake up and you're in a trance. You're talking to your kids, you're in a trance. We want to get out of the ones that are unhelpful and into the ones that are helpful, because your freedom can be as automatic as your anxiety has been. Think about that for a second. If the nervous system experiences a situation, it already has that recorded in memory. You have access to that. You have access to good feelings. You have access to inner peace. You have access to all those things, right? If you've experienced it once, you can do it again. And this time, you can actually own this new identity rather than renting it. You know, I usually refer to it as renting it, right? I rent this person, like, okay, I'll let myself go for a few moments and I'll experience inner peace and I'll have a good time, right? And then, right? It's kind of like I am going to try, like, you know, people that say I'm going to try are always going to fail. So, Xavier, I have an in-depth article on CBD oil and how it connects to anxiety and emotional health. Just message me, private message me. I'm going to send you that article and you can go through that. It's laid out quite nicely. Have I tried lavender tea, Michael? A little bit. I probably have. I mean, I experiment with all sorts of things. I mean, you give it to me and I'll drink it. All right. So if you ever meet me, okay, face to face, bring tea. Bring something new. Patty, great to see you here. I saw something that said, I'm not renting space in my mind for negativity, and it stuck with me. Luana's here. Let's welcome her. Great to make it. Awesome. Better late than never. Lemon balm tea. Very calming. Amira, absolutely. I love lemon balm tea. I got some in the kitchen. Moroccan tea. Yeah. What types of tea do I recommend? I have a video on that. Um, I go in depth. I don't really. I like the mint stuff. I like the chamomile stuff, but I know there are teas out there, there are herbs out there that are a lot more potent than these. Mugwort is one of my favorites right now. Mugwort is number one. Reishi tea is number two for me. Um, Mugwort, reishi tea. Let me think here. Hishu Wu. Hishu Wu. You guys are like, what? Hishu Wu tea is another one. You can look them up. You can gain some more information, some knowledge on it. Right? Those would be my top three at the moment, for sure. Right? Mary likes chamomile. Now, guys, you did some great studying, let's call it. You did some great understanding, great comments. You guys are relating to what I'm saying here. We're doing some great work today together. Let's take a few moments to work with a particular technique that gets us to get some good feelings in our bodies stronger and to condition ourselves to feel better consistently. When we do this particular technique, you're going to notice that it involves the body. Okay, so get yourself ready, get comfortable, right? Get yourself in a nice posture. I know if you guys came late, I am wearing the quantum perfect pose with the magnets in the back. That's right. There's no chance I'm slumping over today. Right? I just picked it up. I highly recommend the perfect pose device. Can I do a meditation about letting go of the past? I could. Where do you guys want to go? You want to go past or you want to go future? You want to reframe, or you want to go forward and build on the good stuff, the momentum, the progress that you're making. Comment below. Let's see what people say. Are we going into the past or are we going into the future? Marnie, what do I use? I use olive oil. Olive oil on the face. In the beginning, it was kind of gross, but I got used to it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Past. Someone says past. Patty says past. Heather says forward is 2-1. Crystal says forward is 2-2. We're going to 5. Lori, is that forward? Okay, 3-3. Past, future. All the above. So we're at 3-3. First to 5. Future, 4-3. And forward. Zoe says forward. So we're going into the future. Joyce. Okay. So give your body a bit of a shake. Marnie, we'll do it next time. Give your body a bit of a shake. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And as you take a few deep breaths, warriors, here's what I want you to do. I want you to connect with me, and I want you to feel the connection with everybody here. No more commenting. Put your hands down. Make sure that your feet are flat on the floor. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Okay? As you take those deep breaths, I want you to go ahead and tap in to the gratitude that you feel for being here right now. The gratitude that you feel for being here right now. I want you to be grateful that Joshua's here, grateful that Marnie's here, Nancy, Heather, Karen, right? And while we're here in this moment and you're taking those deep breaths and just slowing everything down for a few moments, I want you to just go ahead and recognize where it is in your body that you're feeling grateful, that you're feeling really good about your future, that you're feeling really good. You got a good feeling about what we're working on here together. I want you to notice where in your body you feel that. It could be on the lower body, upper body. Just notice. Take your finger and point to exactly where that good feeling is in your body. And as you do, I want you to create an image in your mind with your eyes closed, an image in your mind of that good feeling. Whatever comes up is fine. Maybe it's a good feeling of you being on a beach, or maybe you're just sitting here and you got a picture of the comments of other people and you're grateful for that. Or maybe you recognize something and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful for that. Notice whatever picture comes up in your mind, that's what it is. And as you notice that picture right here, right now, I want you to notice that the things that you can see in that picture. Notice all the things that you see in that picture in your mind's eye right now as you're imagining it with your eyes closed. Look around. Notice what other things you may be grateful for, right? And if the child mind shows up, just scoot it away a little bit, right? And just say, this is my time. This is the adult mind's time. And then I want you to notice what you hear. What do you hear when you're in that beautiful place, recognizing that this picture just makes you feel so, so good and so, so proud of yourself and so, so healing. Then I want you to notice, what do you feel? What do you feel against your physical body, right? Maybe you got some nice clothes on. Maybe you got the wind against your face. Maybe the sun's against your face. Maybe you're just content. Maybe you're just in your bedroom, whatever it may be, right? Now, as you notice that picture, I want you to go ahead and recognize that that picture is floating outside your body right now. It's no longer on the inside. You may have the image there, but imagine that the picture is floating outside of your body somewhere, right? Get playful, get imaginative, just kind of like those Iron Man movies where he's pointing to all those things. I want you to take your finger and I want you to point to a space outside your body now. Point to where that picture is. You can point anywhere you want outside your body. It could be in front of you, it could be beside you, whatever. And as you point to that picture outside, I want you to take both of your fingers and trace the edges of that picture. Go ahead and trace the edges of it so we know how big it is. That's right. So we know how big it is. And as you trace the edges of it, what I want you to do is I want you to put your arm right through that picture just to make sure it's the right one, and notice how good it makes you feel. That's right. That's the picture. Not only is it in your mind's eye, but it's now on the outside. That's right, just in front of you. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab the edges of that picture. That's right. Be playful, be childlike like you were as a child. And what I want you to do is I want you to stretch that picture wider and notice the feelings in your body growing stronger and stronger. That's right. Make it double the size of what it was before. And with your eyes closed now, just go ahead and feel those good feelings that start to arise. Let yourself completely go to those good feelings. Notice what you see, hear, and feel. That's right. Now, with that big picture now, put that picture above your head. Go ahead, bring it just above your head. And here's what I want you to do. 5 times over, I want you to drape yourself from head to toe with that picture, moving from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Go ahead, shower yourself, bring it all the way from the top, down through your neck. That's right, through your waist, all the way down your legs and down to your tippy toes. That's 1. Now bring it all the way up again, and 2. That's right, from the top all the way down to the bottom. Keep flushing yourself with this beautiful picture over and over again, welcoming all the beautiful sensations that are showing up in your body. Heck, if you want to get emotional, get emotional. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to get excited, get excited. But just keep moving that picture through every cell in your body from top to bottom, again and again and again. And when you get to 5, sit back and take a deep breath. And as you allow your breathing to be automatic now, I'll be sharing a couple of words with you that will seep deep into your subconscious at this point. You will accept these words. You will act on these words. You will live by these words. Because you are more than anxiety. Because you are much more than your feelings and emotions. The words are, I fully deserve these good feelings now. I fully deserve these good feelings now. Take a deep breath and let go. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes and know that you did something fantastic for yourself. Hit the like button, hit the love button. The love just goes around and around like a circle. And many times after exercises like that, people sabotage the good feelings. Right? Don't do that. Just allow yourself to be one with it. Brandon's face is wet. Excellent. Okay, the more absorbed you are, the more you let yourself go, the more childlike and playful you are, the better this stuff works. So Karen's got happy tears. Keep commenting. I love it. I love the feedback. Hannah really let herself go, you can tell. Joshua can't stop smiling. Joyce is crying. I love it. I love it. She felt giggly at the same time. That's what I'm talking about. When we talk about emotional discharge, we are talking about this sort of stuff, guys. Yawning means release. Yes, yawning, sweating, crying, these are all forms of emotional release, energetic discharge. Yes, totally crying, Lori. I love it. Let the tears flow. I've said this before. The worst invention ever is tissues. Tissues are the worst things that we ever came up with. Oh my goodness, I've got to hide this stuff. I got to stuff it back into my mind and body so I can pay the price later. Forget all that stuff. Joe, you're going to sleep well tonight. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Marnie feels relaxed. Good. So, haven't been to that place in a long time, Michelle. It's a start. It's a good start. Tears from Adrian. There you go. Zoe can't stop yawning. A lot of good stuff, guys. It tells me that, you're really ready for change. That's what it tells me. Because there's a lot of people out there that would open their eyes and close their eyes. Right? A lot of people out there that would, think that these sorts of exercises are a little bit silly. But it shows me that you're ready for healing because you're so dissatisfied with your old state. And it shows. Michelle's crying now. Okay. Yes, you can definitely wash your hands. I do it after every combing exercise. The Wednesday video where I use the combing technique every morning. Who asked that question there? Amira. Yeah, so I'm just combing the negative out and I'm just getting the flow going through my body. And after that exercise, I will just wash my hands with salt water, Himalayan salt water, and that'll release a lot of the negative energy there. Yeah. Especially if I'm working with someone personally, right? And I'm doing some of that stuff, right? Any kind of Reiki or whatever. Um, awesome, good stuff. So warriors, while we're here, um, there may be some really good clarity that will show up based on that exercise. So in the next couple hours, you may recognize something like, wow, I never realized that I could get to that good emotional state, which means that if I can tap into that now, I can tap into that all the time. That may be one of the moments of clarity that you had from today. Moment of clarity, wow, I'm really starting to forgive myself and other people. I want you to recognize these moments of clarity that are going to show up in the next few hours, and I want you to write them down. That's your job for the rest of the day. That's your only job for the rest of the day. Um, I'm going to give tremendous credit to a YouTuber named David Snyder. I kind of tweaked that technique a little bit. He is fantastic. I highly suggest that you look into his videos, my friends. And aside from that, let's get into some questions. Questions in the comment section below. Questions on things we discussed today between the child and the adult mind. Let me know if this is really helpful for you guys. As long as it's helpful, I will continue to do these on a monthly basis. Hopefully more consistently after the book comes out, but so far that's what we have. Great, Alfonso is ready for a good meal. Awesome. Any questions? If you guys have any questions, lay them out in the comments below. For health anxiety book, I would recommend tier 2. I would go with the End the Anxiety program and the Life Mastery program together because it's a great continuation. You're going to recognize that you're given two very important exercises in the program, Gray Room and Magic Frame, and you want to utilize those, alternating those each and every day. So yes, I would go with tier 2. How can I approach my child mind in times of frustration? Compassion. That's it, compassion. The child mind is based on previous experience. The child mind is focusing on the now. It's not focusing on your long-term healing, it's now. And Kobe, what you got to do is you got to say, if I had a younger brother or a younger sister, or if I have kids, how would I respond to the same fears that would come from those people, those kids? And what I need you to do is start treating yourself the same way you would treat your own kids. Think about that for a while. Tracy, this Monday's podcast is all about the process on what you need to do post panic attack. Okay, so hang in there this Monday. If you guys experience panic attacks, here are the 5 things that you definitely need to focus on post after a panic attack. Amira, I don't understand that question. Future anxiety is adult mind. I don't understand. My son is in a wheelchair full time, suffers terrible from high anxiety. How can I start to help him? My son is in a wheelchair full time. Lucia, is that right? I mean, I gotta pin these so I can keep track of them. There's a lot of great questions, great comments coming in. Guys, here's what we need to understand, okay? We need to understand that, and I don't know, Lucia, the the process on how your son got into a wheelchair, okay? And I'm just gonna put this out there, okay? Just so everybody is clear. When we come to this world, we are faced with the first pie in the face, okay? The initial sensitizing event. When we experience an event that was highly traumatic and overwhelming, that becomes a condition. That becomes a program. That becomes something that the subconscious wants to fulfill for the rest of their life. So, for example, you're two, right? And mommy and daddy are going crazy. They're angry. They're beating themselves up and whatever. And you're witnessing this, maybe even peripherally, not directly, but without even knowing it. Leisha, without even knowing it, you experienced a trauma. Now, with that belief moving forward, what's going to happen is your system goes, okay, well, this sort of self-punishment must continue. It must continue because this is what reality is. Okay? Because at 2 years old, you don't have a difference between you, mom, and dad. You are mom. Okay? You are literally your gods, which is mom and dad. So there's no difference. There's no identity. There's no sense of being. Right? There's no identity there. So we need to understand that the initial sensitizing event happens, then multiple events happen afterwards, subsequent events that follow the initial event. Diseases, illnesses, accidents, based around the fulfillment of the original programs that say self-punishment. I was reframing somebody a couple weeks ago. We were doing a couple of things, and during that process, we found out that that person's initial sensitizing event was while they were the fetus in the womb and the parents were talking about abortion. Okay, the parents were talking about abortion. So we actually reframed the entire experience from that moment forward prior to even coming to planet Earth. Now, Leisha, what we have to make sure we do is, and if you message me later, I'd like to send you one or two things that will help your son to begin reframing some events from the past, but you got to kind of introduce it to him a little bit first, and begin to release him of the heaviness, the energetic heaviness that he may be carrying around that may even lead to something else. Okay? So we want to get that program out of the way. We want to install something new. And if he's suffering from terrible anxiety, I mean, really what that is that's just undischarged emotions, undischarged energy. And there are ways that we can start releasing this stuff. So he's crying more, yawning more, he's sweating it out, those sorts of things. Hypnosis does a great job of this. Tapping is okay. EMDR is good. There are definitely processes that we can go through. But message me later, and I'll try to go a little bit in depth and understand the story a little bit more. Okay, but I hope that helped a bit there. Let's go into that. Amira, I promised I would take a question. Let's do it. Could it be possible to be born with anxiety then? Yes, absolutely. Very likely, in fact, very common. Since my mother had trauma when pregnant and throughout my upbringing, absolutely, absolutely. Generational trauma plays a big part in it. There's a book out there called, message me later, I forgot the name. It's Not Always You. Maybe somebody knows what that book might be. It doesn't have everything to do with you, something along those lines. But, okay, Leisha, that's cool. But can you be born with anxiety? Yes. And you can, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Mother went through trauma during pregnancy. Yep. How or why did it show up only later in life? Well, these sorts of things accumulate. These sorts of things compound. Um, like I said, the child mind starts very subtly, right? During the beginning stages, our symptoms really didn't take up the mind of our conscious mind. We didn't really recognize them. We played them off. We were able to distract ourselves and so forth. As time goes on, the subconscious mind, the child mind is going, hey, are you going to deal with this, right? Are you going to change this, or are we going to keep the same meaning over the past? So as the years go on, these sorts of things get stronger and stronger. The initial programs get more deeply stuck, right? Mind, body, that kind of thing. So as well, I mean, people can access a trauma from even a fragment connected to past experience. You could be walking down the street and this guy's got the same haircut as dad did, and dad was emotionally abusive. All of a sudden you start to feel sensitized. So it accumulates, it compounds like a snowball does, and any fragment that is accessed in the present moment can spur on anxiety based on what you experienced from the past, right? And it's good to know these things. Self-discovery is a big part of healing. Trauma started at 6 for Michelle. Panic attack started when it was 35. So the panic and anxiety attack is a way for her to understand that the subconscious is saying, you know what, these programs are still in here. This world is a fearful place. The way we view reality is in a fearful manner, and we'll show you that through your panic, through your anxiety. Remember, every symptom has a loving intention behind it. Okay? Every symptom has a loving intention behind it. Your child mind loves you unconditionally. Your subconscious mind, child mind, same thing, loves you unconditionally. When you can understand that, you can start working through the experiences, the emotional experiences that you're having, rather than beating yourself up because you're experiencing them. Notice the difference. It's a protective mechanism. Yeah, it's a defense mechanism, right? But it's also a shout out. It's a shout out that says, hey, is this the same viewpoint we have over this situation? Is this the same perception we're going to hold for the rest of our lives? So when we can see it from the child's perspective, we start understanding. At that point, Marnie, what you got? At that point, you become sensitized. What do you do when you feel this? When you're sensitized? Well, first of all, you should be doing a lot of things prior to being sensitized, right? You shouldn't wait to the moment of sensitization to do something. Your day, and I'll finish with this, guys. Your day should be split into 3 parts. The morning, the afternoon, and the evening. So it's not like one full day. In the morning, okay, it's about future reframing. Who do I want to be? What sort of actions do I want to take? What sort of exercise do I want to do? So it's about the future. It's about planting the seed over who you want to become in the future. That's the morning part. A lot of people wake up in the morning and they plant the seed of suffering. They plant the seed of pain, distress, right? Punishment. No wonder you're in the anxiety trance. The afternoon, let's call it, late morning, afternoon, but you know what I mean. The afternoon is about the tools that you bring with you for the moment of sensitivity. Okay, let's say you're going through the day and boom, something happens, a symptom on the inside or criticism from the outside. There has to be a tool or two that you use that counters that. I'll give you one tool right here, right now. Think about a volume knob, and I'm very big on imagery. I'm very big on somatic engagement, using your body as you're utilizing imagery. Think about a volume knob in front of you right now. Okay, there's a volume knob right here. It's nice and circular. Okay? Think about a thought. A thought like, I'll never overcome my anxiety. Here's what you should be doing a number of times until you lower the volume of that thought. Remember, we're not trying to release ourselves of thoughts. We're not trying to place them away, put them away. We're trying to become disinterested by them. Okay? So here's what you do with that thought of, I'll never overcome anxiety. I'll never overcome. I'll never overcome. One more time. I'll never overcome. When you're listening to the radio and you turn the volume down and you hit the off button, are you still thinking about what was just played, or have you moved on? Most likely you've moved on. If I cut that sentence in half, okay, if I cut that sentence in half and I lower the volume and I hit the off button, my subconscious understands that this thought doesn't need to be given any more attention and emotion. So that's a very powerful tool that I just gave to you that you need to start using multiple times till you feel, till you get a sense that the strength of that original thought has lessened. Powerful, powerful tool. That should help you, Marnie. And I just want everybody to know, hit the like button if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you got something from this. I always try to give you guys everything I can and everything I have. So if you're going through any of my programs right now, theanxietyguy.com, I know that all you have to do is just stay relentless with what's in that program, period. Okay? Whichever program, Inner Circle, and the Anxiety or Life Mastery, just stay relentless with the application of what's in that, the understanding of what's in those programs. I promise you, those are the tools. That is the structure you need. You don't need anything else other than those programs. As far as, not complicating things. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. This was super duper duper whooper fun. And my hot toddy is pretty much done, so I'm going to have to go get another one. Brandon, you're a beautiful person as well, my friend. I love all of you guys. Don't be afraid to use that word. Michelle, Karen, Lori, Marnie, it's always so great to see you. I want to see some progress, Marnie, in the Members Lounge. Please share upcoming week. I know you have it in you. Patty as well. Great tool, yes. Great to see you. Amira, your engagement is amazing. Anita, Joshua, love you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And let's start tomorrow. Tomorrow. Let's start, every day, but let's start the upcoming week in a way where we are focused more on building our new identity rather than trying to escape our old one. Warriors, I love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.